All right, you're welcome back. If you're just joining us, we're discussing Ramadan and, of course, trying to understand how we can fit into the modern day, and if it can be tweaked in any way. And before the break, I guess Abdulaziz was trying to help us into it. Yes.
Yeah, as I was saying, I said Islam conforms with morality. So, contrary to the belief of our youth, some believe Islam is boring, is hard, is this, is no. Like the Prophet said, or even Allah said in the Quran, Islam is Deen al-Usra. It is so easy. It is a religion of ease. It is also Deen al-Salam, the religion of peace. So, in advising the youth, like I said, morality matters. You just let them know this is what is good. Islam will not tell you whatever. Islam is not to make anybody. It's not to make you suffer anything or to. It's not any. Like Allah said on even the fasting, He said, "I'm not trying to create any hardship on you." So likewise, if you look at the way we worship, the 5 daily prayers, generally, Islam is so easy. So what we let the youth know is just that Islam conforms with morality. Well, okay, the 16th president of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, he said something. He said, when I do good, I feel good. When I do bad, I feel bad. That is my religion. Though he was not a Muslim, I don't know if he was a Christian, I don't know. He was not a Muslim. But if you look at that, it's in tandem with what the Prophet said, that al-halalu bayyin wal-haramu bayyin. So we just we don't do things in Islam as a Muslim. You don't do things to seek. You don't do it just because people are doing it or because you want to seek what the pleasure. The first thing is when you want to do anything, you refer to the Quran. What did Allah say about this thing? Am I permitted to do it? You do it. If you're forbidden, if you're prohibited from doing it, you stay away from it.
If I'm a young man now and I own a hotel or a nightclub,
okay,
what would you say to me?
Okay, the issue is, in giving fatwa, we call it rulings, in giving rulings in Islam is such a recondite, such a difficult thing. Scholars don't just, it's not something you just use with discretion. It takes the ulamas, the scholars, to sit down, they brainstorm, they rub minds together in order to give a ruling about something. Before they can tell you this thing is wrong, they'll look at what the Quran says about it. They'll look at. So I believe, as regard concerning the hotel, like I studied economics in school. I was told in school that to make a rational decision, you look at the cost and benefit of your action.
Cost?
So if the cost outweighs the benefit, that decision is irrational. You don't take it. But if the benefit outweighs the cost, then it means it is a rational decision. So in that case, hotels, we have so many schools of thought. Some will tell you it is wrong. Some will tell you it's for business. But I think, though, if you look at the pros and cons, or if you look at the negative side of the hotel or the hospitality management business, it's not everybody that go into the hotel, go there for adultery or whatever.
I say, like a nightclub, for example.
Okay,
looking at the morality
club.
question.
Exactly.
If I run a nightclub and I say, oh, maybe during Ramadan, I just don't go there, but it still runs. Even outside of Ramadan, what would you say to me? It looks like you want to think about that.
No, I'm not thinking. I just need to be factual.
Okay.
I need to be factual. A nightclub is not a business that is permissible in Islam.
Okay.
That is it.
Okay. You want to jump in there? Not necessarily on that issue.
No, I'm going to let that issue stay with him because that question was directed at him. And I will jump to the issue of social media because you mentioned it.
Yeah, I mentioned social media.
The Al-Quran, right, was actually set out to act as a guide between right and wrong.
The Furqan, yes.
Right?
Yes.
And that being said, when you go on social media, what are you going on social media for? We have to remember that social media has become part and parcel of our daily lives, whether you like it or not. If you're not conforming with that sect of what today entails, then maybe you're a caveman, right? So, personally, what do I go on social media for? I love food, so I follow a lot of food stuff. I want to see what my friends are up to, so I follow that. And a lot of my work is, because I'm an advertising person, a lot of my work actually falls on those platforms. So I'm there for those reasons. I'm not on Instagram or Facebook to follow XYZ, blah, blah, blah. So going on Instagram, for instance, during Ramadan, as far as I'm concerned, is absolutely fine. If you are not going on those platforms to seek worldly
Because a lot of people give it up for Ramadan.
Well, I mean, it's up to the individual. If you know that you're not a strong-willed person and going on Instagram is going to make you feel a certain type of way, by all means stay out of it. But it's a personal thing. I'm confident that going on Instagram doesn't affect what my Ramadan rites are, going through. I don't feel that it's going to make me want to ejaculate, as the Quran says, and I don't feel like it's going to make me do bad things that are not in line with what the scripture tells us not to. Yeah. So it also boils down to how time has made things change. In the days of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there was no phones. So he wrote those scriptures were revealed to him in a time where those things didn't necessarily exist. So it's like he said, it's very refreshing, and this is news to me. I'm learning as I'm on this segment, that the scholars and the deans and the senior officials sit down and brainstorm around something, which is good, because if we were to live by a book, right? If we were to live by a book, and if it says do not walk on water, if technology brings something that makes you able, that will make you able to glide on water, then what happens to how that scripture was quoted?
I want to talk about certain professions now. Like you talk about advertising,
right.
Advertiser.
Yeah.
So you will be on social media because your work revolves around that.
Yeah.
Someone who's a boxer, for example, now, who has to fight,
right,
and beat someone up.
Okay, Ibuka.
What happens?
Ibuka. That goes back to that goes back to my first element of what I said. Is it moral? Is it moral? Do you think it's? I mean, it's all fun and games until someone gets hurt. Literally, is boxing? What?
It's his profession.
Right. So, but what is the derivative? You're getting hurt. Some people have brain damage from boxing. Some people get Parkinson from the effects of getting blows to the head.